What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is White Gamer, and today we have a different type of video, guys. We actually did this a couple months ago, but I think back in December. We're going to be breaking down certain attributes and talking about them because sometimes, guys, in the description, there's more to it than just what it says in the description. So all these are coming from an EA developer that actually works in for the Pro Clubs team. So, guys, the first thing I asked him was, is there a difference between 99 stats compared to 95? As you guys can see on this finisher build, for example, from the moment you go from 95 to 99, you're going to be spending around 111 attribute points, which is a lot for a +4 that might not make a difference. So I asked him, do 99 stats compared to 95 make a difference, guys? And now he told me there is a major difference. You guys can see I'm also going to be popping up the questions, or not the questions, but the answers on the screen. He says there is a major difference. After around 90, for each +1 attribute, the effects are significantly increased. So what he means is every time you go from 90 to 99, so you do 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, etc., there's the attributes itself is way more effective. But then I asked him, can we notice it? Can can us players notice it in game? And he said no. He said no. From a user perspective, us players, we wouldn't be able to notice from 95 to 99. But he said from their end, they can notice it or see it. And this is the example he gave me. You guys can see on the screen. So the example he gave me is on their side, they can see the range, how accurate. This is just an example. So let's say you have 99 finishing, right? They're going to be able to see all the room for error. But on our end, we only see if it goes in or if it misses. So you guys can take that for how you want it, guys. That's why I think all of the builds that we dropped this year don't have 99 stats, because us players won't notice it. But I think the game code and, the developers, they're able to pinpoint exactly the accuracy. And guys, this applies to anything, not just the finishing. We're just using the finishing for example. I think it applies for, any stat that you can get to 99. It's not going to be noticeable, at least for you, the player, but from the coding aspect of it, it is noticeable, he said. So, you can take that information with however you want, guys. You can go 99 or you can drop it to 96 or 95. Hopefully that answers it, because I know there's been a whole debate. I've seen it on Reddit. We actually made a separate video talking about the 99 stats a couple months ago. Since I don't know, I feel like since we can't notice it, us as a player, I don't think it's worth it. But hey, all up to you guys. The next question I asked them, guys, is do certain once you get to certain certain values, do you unlock all the animations? So guys, if you guys didn't know, back in, I think it was September during the gameplay deep dive, or August, EA in their pitch note did mention that if once you get to 85 standing tackle, this was just for the standing tackle, you unlock all the animations. So I asked him, oh, what other attributes happens the same thing? So, what other attributes do you need to get to minimum 85 to unlock the other animations? And then his response was like, he doesn't believe that attributes unlock animations, but they help with the selection of animations and the speed of the animations. He also says there is playstyles that do unlock unique animations, like the slide tackle. Where's the slide tackle at? The slide tackle playstyle, whether it's the plus or the regular one. And then, if you're playing goalkeeper, the far reach. I'm pretty sure there's other playstyles as well, but those are the only two that he knows that will unlock quote unquote unique animations. So yeah, man, you do want to have your important stats minimum 85 or higher, because even though they don't unlock specific animations, you will have a range of animations that your pro can pull off. A good example is the standing tackle. Sometimes it's very rare, but sometimes a player will make a tackle with the back of the back heel, a back heel tackle. That's because they have different types of animations that the game selects for them. So yeah, I wanted to throw that one out there, a question, because it was EA is not very descriptive when it comes to these. I know the standing tackle is the only one we know that, once you get to minimum 85, you unlock all the animations. So yeah. So guys, for the next one, I asked him to explain or break down a little bit more the defensive aggression and strength attribute. So guys, for the defensive awareness, it improves on clearing the ball, the transitioning from jockey to jogging or jogging to jockey. So let's say, I mean, it does say jockeying here in the description, but I didn't know that it improved clearing the ball. And it also improved tackling awareness, which is very good. I think that has to do when you're going for a tackle, how where your pro is in the moment when you press the button. I think that's what it means. But yeah, that's what defensive awareness does. It is important for a CDM, CB. Anytime you need to, jockey in general, it's going to be very important, and it improve clearing the ball. Now, guys, for the aggression, let's actually go with the strength first. So strength, he said, is used in a lot of things involving physicality, such as pushing off people off a challenge, or when someone's pushing you off or on the ball against you, or when you do it against them. Also, when you're stumbling, forces when making challenges, shielding the ball, shield dribbling, push-offs, etc., etc. So strength is very important. That's why I think all the builds that we dropped this year, they do have strength because it is important for shielding the ball, when you're going for a push-off challenge, like he mentioned. And then, guys, I also told him to explain the aggressions because, yes, here it says chances of success when performing risky tackles and blocks. He says it improves push/pull challenges, which is like pulling someone's shirt, going for like a shoulder challenge as well. And it's also used to determine aggressive slide tackles, block, and interceptions animation. I didn't know that. I mean, it does show here as the related play style. I didn't know aggression also played a role in interception, which is pretty good to know. But then I asked him, guys. I asked him. I asked him in the fourth question, or my last question from him is, what attributes contribute to a player winning an aerial battle, whether it's contested or not contested? Now, keep in mind, guys, timing your jump is important, but there's multiple attributes that play a role in your pro winning that aerial battle, whether it's contested or non-contested. So he actually gave me a lot of stats I didn't know. Stamina plays a role, obviously jumping. He said heading accuracy plays a role. He says reaction, composure, in some cases strength, and of course your height plays a role. And if you're going for the shot, you need the heading accuracy for the shooting or the passing. So that's why he mentioned heading accuracy for the if you're shooting or passing with your head. So that's why he did mention the heading accuracy. But yeah, and keep in mind, guys, like he said, stamina probably plays like a 5% role in winning your aerial battle. I would say the most important thing is obviously timing your jumps. If you can push off your opponent off the ball before the ball lands, I'm sorry, not off the ball, but before the ball lands to your head, you can push them off. That helps a lot. Now, he says, I asked him about the aggression. Does aggression also help with aerial battles? He says it can when it comes to pushing off your opponent to get an uncontested header. So aggression is important. That's why you see a lot of center backs with high aggression. And if you're using a target build, and you don't have high aggression, I would highly recommend having high aggression on your target build because it will help you try to win that contested header, and you should be trying to push off your opponent before the ball lands. If you guys don't know, you can push off your opponent with a left trigger and then just it'll do an animation where it'll use like your elbow to push them off. So, and then he also said it does help with header animation selection for clearance headers. So you guys can see, man, most of these animations, it's like the game will select a certain animation for you at a specific scenario. So, hopefully that answers some of the questions, guys. Now, reaction and balance, we did talk about it in another video. Also, guys, most of these stats do interconnect with each other. Like, for example, like when it came to like the uncontested headers, he said stamina, jumping, strength, aggression, heading accuracy. They all play a small percentage to add up to 100 eventually. So keep that in mind when you're making your build or when you're watching, whether it's my builds or someone else's build, to keep that in mind. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think. Are you guys going to put your stats to 99? Are you going to reset your build and put it to 95, 94? Let me know your comments, guys. This is a different video. Let me know if you guys want me to do more of these because they're pretty interesting. They really are interesting because sometimes these description aren't enough. There's way more to it than what it shows in the description here for these attributes. But other than that, guys, make sure you guys have a good Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll catch you guys next time. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. And I'll catch you